Hi, I'm in my studio. I took a shower, didn't have time to dry my hair. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Got some important things to say. Don't have any makeup on. I have an urgency in my soul and in my heart, and I'm not gonna try to prepare myself to look good on social medias for my own whatever. We have got to come out of this time in each one of our sectors, each one of our places in the world, in our families, in our relationships, particularly in our collective workspaces. For me, that's in the arts. We have got to come out of this time thinking about what it means along the lines of the Green New Movement. What it means for our arts to move toward one another in a way where we are building a deeper sense of our own inner self-love and wisdom and deep connection to each other and to these environments, our urban, our cultivated, and our wild spaces. What does it mean for the enormous organizations that helped make Seattle a place of world-class art on the maps that started back in the 70s, building themselves up, our symphony, our opera, our ballet? But what does it mean now in the 21st century when there are incredible artists, incredible composers? There are choreographers that are now in my decade who have been left to the wayside of this ever, always, either seeking the patronage of an old system, or this ever looking for this youth emerging thing of this new, of this innovative, of this, what's the latest thing? And we've reached the end of that line. I read a book by Susie Gaplick, I think it's Gaplick. She wrote a book originally in the 90s called Is Modernism Dead? My arm's getting tired, sorry, the camera's shaking a little bit. And then the one that followed that in the 90s was called The Reenchantment of Art. And she was calling for artists that I know are thinking and loving and creating and moving in visual, sound, dance, architecture, writing. They are moving in the ways that I am moving. And she called for these artists to arise 30 years ago. And here we are in the 21st century. And I have friends struggling deeply in this pandemic. But you know what, artist friends? They have been struggling before this pandemic. And you can look at this across all kinds of parts of life. You can look at this for minorities. You can look at this for the transgender community. You can look at this for low-income families in the education system. Seattle wouldn't shut the schools down because they knew that there was not equity in education and going online. We live in one of the wealthiest cities in the United States. We have got to make a massive cultural shift. And you know what? If we don't do this from this pandemic, and once this pandemic goes away, and there may be another one, but what won't go away is climate change. We have got to make a great change. So my arm is getting tired. This camera's shaking. I'm sure you're tired of seeing my face in this crazy haired format, but I feel an urgency that we all need to do our parts. Until another day, I'll have more to say. With a great, fierce love, I move for something that is being renewed and is ancient and is being called forward from the future.